You know what? This reminds me of a story. Now, before this year, I had never really been one to go to pubs or bars, and heaven forbid you ever found me in a club. But all of that changed once I went to the gap year. And it was at this gap year that I met my buddy Lloyd. Now this is where our story begins. So, right around the end of the first term, Lloyd's birthday rolls up and we decide to go on one of what we would soon call our great adventures. We walked all across town to the legendary Irish pub. Now, both of us had a great deal of respect for the Irish. Me, because of the great movie The Boondock Saints. Lloyd, because of booze, shots, and saints. So, the first time we saw this pub, we both expressed interest in going in. On this day, we had a legitimate reason to. So we stand outside for a few minutes, debating whether or not we should go in. I mean, alcohol consumption was technically against the rules of the gap year. But this was his birthday, damn it, and we were going to celebrate it the only way we know how. So eventually we go in. Lloyd's walking in there looking all cool and relaxed, but I go in there and I'm nervous as all hell. As soon as we go in, every single person in that bar stares at us and we just freeze. The bartender walks up to us and he demands to see Lloyd's ID. It was at this point that I started to realize what we might look like to them. To them, we probably resembled an older brother bringing his baby bro to his first bar. Me being the older brother, of course. I mean, come on. I was a good 30 centimeters taller than Lloyd. No way they were gonna think he was the older brother. Naturally, I filled that role, regardless of the fact that I'd never been drunk before, but enough about that. So I good-naturedly assure them that Lloyd is indeed over 18. I mean, it's his birthday today. He is 19 on this day. And that's when the bartender turns to me and says, "I'll be checking yours next, son." Okay, I see. That's cool. Totally fair. So we show him our IDs and we go and take a seat at the very back of the bar. And Lloyd proceeds to order us each a Guinness. Now, I was under the influence that a Guinness was a book of world records, but turns out it's a beer. So while we're waiting for our beers, I scanned the bar, and I shit you not, what I saw in there fully convinced me that we had somehow wandered into some other kind of pub sitcom. It was a cougar sitting at the counter, complete with martini and a short satin slip dress, a bald dude in a Hawaiian shirt drinking some kind of pina colada cocktail, and a guy with a long white ponytail, a white beard, and a gold chain around his neck. Dedicated to you. So the bartender brings our beers and Lloyd proceeds to pour us each a glass. Now, I had been very excited to finally taste this beer that he had hyped up so much, but then... What the fuck? What the fuck was this? Shit was black. Beer is supposed to be yellow. Yellow! I was fully convinced that the bartender had brought me a rotten beer. I mean, look at that thing. It was way past its expiration date. But that's when Lloyd looks at my reaction, and he assures me that a Guinness is supposed to be black. Yeah, get this, it was supposed to look like it was rotten. But I didn't care. I was already put off. So by now, the other people in the pub had started talking to us. They asked us questions like who we are, where we're from, but they got really invested when we told them it's Lloyd's birthday. So the ponytailed guy got up and started orbiting us. And that's when he said the words that would stick with us for the rest of our lives. It's great that you're having fun. But remember, life is full of beautiful things. You know, from a gynecologist's point of view. And I shit you not, every single person in that bar went. So we finish our beers. Correction, Lloyd finished our beers. I'm sorry, but no matter what he said, this thing had already put me off and I was not finishing it. Now we get up and go to the counter to pay, but that's when the bartender points to a sign that says... Luckily, I still had some cash left on me from the restaurant we had been to earlier, but Lloyd had almost no cash left on him. So I give him what little cash I have left after I paid my debts. But it still wasn't enough. He has to resort to his own. And everyone in the bar had gone silent and was just staring at us. You could cut the tension with a knife. So Lloyd's notes run out and he resorts to coins. When his rands run out, he resorts to cents. And all the while, I'm just standing there trying to fill the silence, talking about, so is there like an ATM where he can go get some money? I mean, you guys can make me stay behind as leverage so that he doesn't run away. Lloyd, if you were ever going to magically produce money from your ass crack, now would be the ideal time to do that. We threw everything we had together, and by the grace of the Almighty, it was just enough. I'm talking the exact amount. After that whole ordeal, we walked to the exit. We were planning on drinking more than one beer, but this whole experience was more than enough for us. We were ready to go home. But before we left, every single person in that bar gave us one last bit of advice. Live life to the fullest. Don't be afraid to love. Always have fun. And remember, boys, be safe. You know, from a gynecologist's point of view. Cheers.
What will we do with the drunken sailor? What will we do with the drunken sailor? What will we do with the drunken sailor early in the morning? Way, hey,